What? I sometimes ask myself in amazement. Our ancestors walked from East Africa to Novaya Zemlya and Ayers Rock and Patagonia. They hunted elephants with stone spear points. They traversed the polar seas in open boats 7,000 years ago. They circumnavigated the Earth propelled by nothing but wind. They walked the moon a decade after entering space. And we're daunted by a voyage to Mars. But then I remind myself of the avoidable human suffering on Earth. How a few dollars can save the life of a child dying of dehydration. How many children we could save for the cost of a trip to Mars. And for the moment, I change my mind. Is it unworthy to stay home, or unworthy to go? Or have I posed a false dichotomy? Isn't it possible to make a better life for everyone on Earth and to reach for the planets and the stars? We had an expansive run in the 60s and the 70s. You might have thought, as I did then, that our species would be on Mars before the century was over. But instead, we've pulled inward. Robots aside, we've backed off from the planets and the stars. I keep asking myself, is it a failure of nerve or a sign of maturity? Maybe it's the most we could reasonably have expected. In a way, it's amazing that it was possible at all. We sent 12 humans on week-long excursions to the moon. And we were given the resources to make a preliminary reconnaissance of the whole solar system, out to Neptune anyway. Missions that returned a wealth of data, but nothing of short-term, everyday, bread on the table, practical value, or at least not much. They lifted the human spirit, though. They enlightened us about our place in the universe. It's easy to imagine schemes of historical causality in which there were no race to the moon and no planetary program. But it's also possible to imagine a much more serious devotion to exploration, because of which we would today have robot vehicles probing the atmospheres of all the Jovian planets and dozens of moons, comets, and asteroids. A network of automatic scientific stations placed on Mars would daily be reporting their findings, and samples from many worlds would be under examination in the laboratories of Earth, revealing their geology, chemistry, and who knows, maybe even their biology. Human outposts might be already established on the near-Earth asteroids, the moon, and Mars. There were many possible historical paths. Our particular causality scheme has brought us to a modest and rudimentary, although in many respects heroic, series of explorations. But it is far inferior to what might have been, and what may one day be.